Hello, everyone. This
Hello.
is the Wise Coffee Chat Show. So, I hope the music is not a distraction. Now I'm sitting here listening to the music. So who am I? My name is Jennifer Sanchez. I am the your host for today. Make sure that the music is actually down here so that everyone can hear me. I am the founder of the Wise Alliance Network, as well as I'm a real estate investor. So we put on together networking events for entrepreneurs, for women. Also, we put together conferences and retreats, boot camps. So I do a bunch of stuff for the community. Also, I am a real estate investor. I don't know if did I say that? I'm a real estate investor. So if anyone is looking to sell their property, please let me know. I can purchase your property cash, 30 days or less, no fees, no inspection. So reach out to me if you're interested. And of course, I am also a mom of 3 beautiful girls. So that is who I am. And I will pass it over to my co-host.
Hello, friends and family. My name is Sebastian Gomez. I am the co-host of this podcast. Thank you again, Jennifer, for always bringing me along and not kicking me out yet.
Lord.
Yet. Like I said, Sebastian Gomez here with Keller Williams Commercial Real Estate, powered by ERT Commercial. I'm a commercial real estate agent working with businesses looking for retail space, office space. I also work with investors that own those spaces to help them lease out. So if you know anyone who's having trouble finding space for their business or filling their space with a business, let me know. Would be more than happy to reach out. I'm also the co-founder of Naperville Networking Alliance. That's a a networking group in the western suburbs. We are based out of Naperville and we host our events out of Lisle. We actually have a networking event this Thursday coming up at Limitless Dreams event. It's from 5:30 to 8:30. We have food and drinks for everyone, so feel free to come out. Follow my Facebook page if you want to get more information on that, as well as commercial real estate.
Nice, nice. That's fun. There's a bunch of
Very fun.
events going on this week. I feel overwhelmed right now. So thank you, Sebastian. And you're not
Thank
getting
you.
kicked out, so stop saying that. Unless you
You
mess
know,
up. Unless you no, just
I'll let
like
them decide now.
unless they don't like
If
you.
you don't like me, let us
Then they're
know.
like, okay,
Put it in the chat.
like Don Francisco. Have you seen like fuera?
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuera.
you
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it? Do you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
That's for el chacal, ¿no?
El Chacal, yeah, El Chacal. So let's pass it over to our guest.
Yes, our guest.
Today. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me.
thank
I
you.
appreciate being on the podcast. I've known Jennifer for quite a number of years, and I can tell you she's a beautiful, amazing person. I've just met Sebastian, and I can see why they make such a great duo on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you for having me. My name is Cynthia Gamboa. I am the founder of Women of Aurora. I'm also the founder of Cups Bra Drive and the LatinX Photo Booth Community in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And I am the owner of CamMi Photo Booth, LLC, and Pop of Love. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. She just listed. She's really busy. She's just
Very
as
busy.
busy. And you're a mom too,
I'm a
right?
mom,
Yeah.
yes.
So
I'm a
you're
mom
and
of-
wife and all
If
that
she
good
could do
stuff.
it,
Yes.
anyone could do it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
so true. So true. So excited to have you here. And for those that are watching, make sure you guys say hi. We can show the comments. I do see Angel. She commented. She put, "This is new music." I don't know if she's referring to the music I had in the background or the music that's playing right here. But she said, "This is new music."
the
LOL.
intro. I think
The
that's right.
intro, right? Yeah, I did pick different music today. So let's go into, of course, coffee time. So of course
Coffee
we
time.
want to give a shout out to the space that Cynthia got for us here. So can you tell us a little bit about where we're at?
Yes, of course. So I'm excited that you're both here because this location means a lot to me. It is Society 57. It is in the heart of downtown Aurora.
Yeah.
And Scott has been gracious to not only host this podcast today, but
Yeah.
host the Women of Aurora month over month. And so we've been
Wow.
here for 2 years
Oh,
now.
very nice. This is
Wow.
where you do the
This
events.
is where we meet.
Oh,
The second Thursday of every month, we meet here at Society 57.
Okay.
Downtown Aurora
Okay.
at 11 a.m. And it is a phenomenal group to be a part of. But if you don't get a chance to come to the Women of Aurora, definitely come check out Society 57.
Yeah.
It's so eclectic. Not only is it a wonderful working space, but consider it as a co-working space. So if
Mhm.
you're working from home, like many of us are as small
Yes.
business owners or as entrepreneurs, see it as a location where you can come, network, as well as get some great coffee and
Mhm.
phenomenal food.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it's better to get out of the house and work in
Yep.
a space like this because if not, I'll be distracted by
Right.
other things, right? And you say you're going to work and then you never do what you say you're going to do, right? So I didn't know that this was the space that you did these meetings here. So it's very nice, very nice. So shout out to Society 57. For those that are
Yes.
watching, check them out. It is in the downtown. We're across the street from the library, the Aurora Library. So you can't miss it. It was huge coming here. And what are you drinking? What were you drinking?
So I had their hazelnut latte this morning.
Okay.
It was delicious.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Classic,
awesome.
classic.
Awesome. What were you drinking?
Straight black. I was deciding whether or not to get a latte, but I got here at like 10:30 to do some work and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need to be drinking coffee the entire time because I'm an addict. So I'm like, what's a good amount of coffee that you guys serve? And he said they do drip coffee, and if you're in here for the remainder of your time, you can get free refills on the drip coffee.
Oh,
Yes. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
like,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So I'm like, give me that. This is my second cup. Waiting for my third. Yes. And it's strong. I am bouncing off the walls, as you can tell.
You don't get any sleep, sir.
And another thing, I did want to shout out again, Society 57. I got a croissant when I first got here, and they have a strawberry shortcake croissant with almonds on the top.
Wow.
I told them to warm it up for me, and
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, even though we're on TV right now, I'm not gonna lie. That was the best croissant I've ever had.
What?
I'm serious. Best croissant I've ever had. I love croissants.
Now I
Chocolate
gotta
croissants.
try it
I've
after
never-
this show.
So tempting.
That's a high order, and I don't say that. I don't say that often. So,
Well, wait until you try their breakfast sandwich.
oh,
When you
Aw,
try their breakfast sandwich,
damn.
oh my gosh, you are never going to eat another breakfast sandwich.
Are you
outside
serious?
Here.
we
I
gotta try
promise
it.
you that. We can all have one before we leave.
Yes.
Damn. I'm never gonna lose
Thank you,
weight,
thank
man. Like,
Food is
no,
too
just
good.
like-
Food is too good.
I'm a foodie, so
I love
I
food
mean,
too.
I don't have curves because I don't eat. I eat, girl.
No, I know. I love food
Same
too.
here.
That's how I was like, oh, I'm supposed to. You got curves.
I don't got curves.
So he said that. I was like, oh,
He's
hell.
got curves, he says. So
I have a curve just underneath my lungs. It's called my stomach.
Anyways, let's go. We got comments coming in. We got Los, LOS, saying hello, everyone. Hey, Los. He is the
Hello, Los.
Flavor Podcast Network CEO and founder. So I'm glad that he's on. And then we have Angel. She said, now you need to get some food so you don't bounce off the walls. LOL.
more than a croissant. More than
Right,
like
right,
real
right.
food.
Now
Great
you
suggestion.
Need, now you need food. So if you guys are watching, make sure you share what you are drinking. If you're drinking something, if you've been here, but make sure you come support this space because we got to support our.
Yes.
I love coffee
Local
shops.
businesses, coffee shops. Yes.
I really do.
And for what these guys do for the community,
Yes.
host a lot of events. It seems like they do give back a lot too. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely got to support.
Yeah, got to support for sure. I mean, I don't know, something about coffee shops for me. I don't know. It's different.
Yeah, it
know?
feels like when you come into Society 57, not only does it feel very relaxed, but you get an upscale tone that you usually don't get in the suburbs.
Yes.
So when you come,
Oh,
and
that's a good point.
yeah, you enter, you feel very relaxed, you feel cozy, but they're also very accommodating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate the space.
And to be honest, it's one of the largest coffee shops that I've seen in the suburbs ever.
Really?
Outside of like Starbucks, like this place is huge, and they have an upstairs and downstairs
I
event
need
space
to take a
too.
tour. I didn't.
So they're big.
Because
They're
I saw
huge.
on the website they do events here.
They do events
do
here.
events
and
yes.
stuff like
So
that.
you can
So-
host a quinceañera,
Yeah.
a wedding, you can host a community event. They do
Mhm.
a ton of fundraisers in this space, and
Oh, very
it's
nice.
gorgeous.
Mhm.
So they allow the community to come into and to the space and utilize not only the front of house, which is like the coffee,
Yep.
the bar area, but also
Yeah.
the back. And it's a lot of square footage,
Mhm.
and it can certainly hold up to 150 people.
wow.
So shout out to Scott and Tammy who are
Shout
doing
out Scott.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely come support. And I didn't
Yes.
share what I
What are
was
you
drinking.
drinking, Jennifer?
What are you drinking?
Crack. No, I'm just fine.
That's what's in his glass.
Yeah, that's what's in my glass.
His
Yes,
is
yes.
in
That's why
Um,
I'm bouncing off the walls.
The owner, Scott, he was like, what do you want to drink? And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I was still kind of setting up and he's like, he just suggested, do you want the honey spicy latte? And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
Yes,
Let's do it.
sure.
You're
You know,
Latina. You need
I'm
spice in
Latina,
your
I need
life.
spice
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
life. Not too
Yeah.
much spice, but I can't do habanero stuff. But it actually does have a kick. I could taste the cayenne. So like
Yeah.
for those that are in, yeah, I always think cayenne, like the health benefits
Healthy,
behind
Yes,
it,
yes,
right?
yes.
Speeds up your metabolism and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it has. It's nice. It's good. I like it. So shout out to the spicy honey latte that's here, made with soy milk.
Yeah.
Soy milk. So I try to stay away from other milk. That's TMI. Anyways, I was about to say something. I was like, that's too much information for the viewers.
Go,
Yeah. I was gonna say something. I was like, nah, better not.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go into our guest, right?
Our guest.
Our guest. That's
Yes.
the whole. You came last minute. Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank
showing
you.
up and coordinating the space so quickly.
Happy to do it.
Yes.
I mean, but you can tell they're so accommodating.
They're so
Absolutely.
yeah, so nice, so nice. So you have like 20 businesses. No, I'm just joking. It was like 5, right? I think I counted like 5, right?
Well, I technically have 2 businesses.
Okay.
Well, I have a business that
Okay.
serves 2 purposes.
Okay.
So CamMi Photo Booth is an all-inclusive photo experience. And what I mean by that is that we provide 360 video photo booths,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
Video booths. So if you've ever seen the red carpet and you see the slow-mo 360
Yes,
video,
yes.
that's the concept that we've taken and put into weddings,
Mhm.
events, marketing.
Nice.
And then we also have a lot of different experiences with a 360, or excuse me, with a mirror, with a magic mirror. We have our
Magic
open
mirror.
air. We
A
have a
magic
selfie
mirror.
station.
What's a
Yes.
magic mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold
so
on,
we
what's a
have
magic-
quite a
Yeah.
few experiences.
Oh,
that
wait,
we offer.
Let's backtrack. What's a magic mirror? So I'm sitting here like
So, but what I mean by magic mirror is literally we have a 65-inch mirror that
Okay.
sits on the floor,
okay.
and you can walk up, take your picture, and then the rendering comes on the actual screen. So it's a touch screen. The entire mirror is a touch screen.
Oh, okay.
You walk up
Okay.
to it and you can sign it. You
Yeah.
can add emojis to it.
That's cute.
You will see the replay of it. We utilize it a lot for weddings.
Yeah.
The brides always like this, and we get some really great renderings from it. Like, you'd be surprised how incredible and crisp our photos are because it's sitting behind this mirror.
Mm.
But more importantly, we are professionals in lighting. So
Yeah.
again, any experience that we're going to bring for any event, it's going to have high quality resolution as well as lighting.
lighting.
Of course.
So that's the magic mirror. And
Very
again,
cool.
you can
Very
see your
cool.
entire self and be able to pose, and it
Oh,
captures
and
an entire
girls
video of
love
you.
that stuff. That's how I was like, what's the
Yes,
mirror? What's the
yes.
mirror?
So you can edit it. So whoever took the picture can edit it real time, like after they take the picture, put the emojis on after, and then send it to the. So that's very cool.
Yes.
Wow,
That's
that's
very
so
cool.
cool.
Yes. And our software offers too, like we have a beautifier in our software already embedded.
A beautifier.
Yeah.
So like add the filters.
I might
Is
need
that what
that.
we're talking
I might
about?
need
we can
that.
do filters.
Oh yeah, Sebastian needs that.
I'm gonna need that. So you can give me some hair.
Lord.
Hair back,
Yeah, yeah,
Sebastian. So we have what's called the K-Dash filter. So it's the black and white. I think the Kardashians made it really popular a few years back
Okay.
to have a K-Dash black and white filter.
Mhm.
Wow.
Beautifiers. So if you have like little lines like I do, like it takes it all
Okay.
away. It makes
Smooths
you
things
really
out, yeah.
smooth. Yeah. And then it really
All
clears it up. So
right.
it's a lot of technology in the background,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So I get a lot of folks that are like, great, you offer an open air photo booth,
Yep.
you offer selfie stations, 360s,
360.
LED,
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
inflatables. I mean, we have a
Yes.
lot of
You
this.
do a lot. You do a
Yeah,
lot.
we have a lot of it. But a lot of it too, it's more than just taking photos.
Right.
A lot of it in the background is really learning the technology
Mhm.
to get
Yeah.
these, to get these renderings
Right.
out. Not only is it technology, but it also is based on creativity. So I do a lot of work on Canva,
It
a lot
sounds
of behind the
lot.
scenes work that
Right.
goes into it. So
Yeah.
when our clients come to us, I've been around for 8 years.
Yeah.
We've worked with a lot of great name brands, Costco being one of them, UPS being
Wow.
another.
Nice.
So we have some really great corporate partners and a lot of great organizations in the community that utilize our services for not just the event and
Mhm.
experience, but also to capture the Gen Zs,
That's
right?
cool.
Right.
So we want to make sure that anybody that's investing in this technology or
Mhm.
investing in our services, is going to get tenfold the marketing for their dollars. So, right, you go to an event and it's 100 people at one event. And that one person can share it to their social media, and about 20 to 30 people are liking it and
Right.
sharing it. But we all know that on social media, one person likes it, but
Yep.
10 see it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're gonna get
Yeah,
100
for
views
sure,
before you
for
get
sure.
100 likes.
So I get like 40 to 50,000 views on my social media per
Yes.
month, and I'm like, y'all don't even like my stuff,
Right.
but y'all be all up in it.
Right, right. So that's what we do for our corporate partners, is that we're able to amplify their marketing dollars
Right.
beyond the event space. So we have now taken, and I just came back from a conference for a week-long conference.
Yeah.
And so as I was sharing, we can now
Specifically
do,
for the photo booth, or
Yep.
what would you describe like the title for that event?
yeah, so it is actually called the Photo Booth Expo
Right,
in
right.
Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
It happens for an entire week, and
That's
we're
awesome.
immersed
Yeah.
in master classes on new technology.
That's cool.
The new technology is taking what Snapchat and
Mm-hmm.
CapCut and all these other apps have been able to
Yeah.
do and implement it into our software, where we're taking photos and the rendering actually comes out either
Right.
as a cartoon or any other AI filter that we want to add to
Right.
it. One of the other things that came
That's
out
so
is that
cool.
we're now able to do, buttons and tchotchkes that will be able to be branded, so that we can then, send families home with a branded item.
Right. You did say that.
That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
Like they,
Yeah,
they
so we're
you said
growing.
you could take a picture with the mirror, right, and get
Yes.
it printed onto a keychain. You could take it home,
You get
remember it for the rest of your life.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's
what I
pretty
love
cool.
about you, and you're not just doing the photo booth business or 360 business just to have it. It's your profession. You literally
Yes.
went to a conference in Las Vegas to learn how to be better at what you do and make your experience a lot better. For a lot of the people a lot of the clients that you have.
Which
so that's
is
very cool to hear.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's her craft,
It's
right?
your
Because there's a
craft.
lot of people that do
Absolutely.
this.
Yes,
Right.
yes, exactly
Right.
what I'm saying.
Right. That's
But-
the difference.
But
Yeah.
you told me, you said you do like 5 different things or 5
Right,
different like
right.
ways of serving someone in the photo
Mhm.
booth stuff. So that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
really like that. I really like the mirror thing. You sold me on the mirror thing, because even the other day, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I get so mad at some restaurants. Like, this is so lame.
Tell us your story.
Oh,
like,
I think you did. You have told me
I
this.
have
Yeah,
said this.
yeah.
Like,
you
if the
told me
mirror is
this.
not good, like, it's like if you're a restaurant or a business, like, I'm gonna make sure I have the best looking bathroom for the
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
Because the girls nowadays, they want those shots. They
Right.
want to take pictures.
In the
You know,
bathrooms,
and
yes,
the
yes.
restaurants or businesses that have like the nicer bathrooms, I'm sure they get great marketing out of it, right? You tag it, you put it up there, and it's like, oh, people see this, right?
Bathroom
Right.
selfie. Yeah. So
You can't, you
It's
can't,
true,
you got
it's true.
People
It's
love,
true.
people
And it-
love it.
Yeah.
Boys, we just need a hole in the floor and that's it.
I don't
Jesus.
know.
That's all we need.
My background is in hospitality, so I can tell you there's a lot more to a bathroom than possibly some
Yeah,
business
yeah,
owners understand.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
if you see a good bathroom, that means the kitchen is good too.
Ooh, that's a fun fact. I
Word to
didn't
the
know
wise.
that.
Yes.
Word to the
So if the
wise.
bathroom is
If they can
dingy,
keep the bathroom clean and
Yeah.
neat and organized, that means that they're paying attention to the front of the house as much as
As
they're
well,
paying in the
yeah.
back of the house. Yeah.
Mhm.
oh,
So absolutely, if you ever go into a restaurant, and you're like, oh, this bathroom is gross.
Right.
Run.
Yeah.
Sorry.
no.
A lot of my
it's-
favorite restaurants,
Sorry.
their bathrooms are gross.
Oh
You know, they put extra love in their food, I guess. Question mark.
Oh, no. Good luck with that.
No, no,
Yeah.
that's dang. Now I'm gonna pay attention
Yeah,
to
I know,
this.
right?
Everybody will.
I'm gonna forget this
Yeah.
conversation.
No, I'm sorry.
No. It's good to
Just
know.
kidding,
It's
just
good to
kidding.
know that, because I was like, that's just good. Like if I
It
had
is.
a coffee shop, I'm gonna make sure the bathroom mirror is there on point, just
Right.
because of the ladies or the aesthetics of the space.
Right.
Right? Like you
Yeah.
have to have something. So you provide that for parties, which is
Yes.
cool,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we
Very.
try to match the aesthetics that the client wants, right? So I've had high-end clients that have spent close to $100,000 on their wedding.
Mhm.
And so we're not going
Damn.
to come in and bring, absolutely, we're not going to
No.
come in and bring, middle of the road stuff.
Right.
We provide 3D silk backdrops.
Very nice.
We do balloon backdrops, but more importantly for us, it's the quality of the image that's
Mhm.
coming out, right?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
lighting is very important for us. Setup is very important for us. Cleanliness is very important for us. So when you see our setup, it looks very minimalistic because that's on purpose. We don't want your guests to feel overwhelmed with tchotchkes and
Right,
props.
right.
And, even after COVID-19 happened, we were just, at a halt or stop with utilizing hats and glasses and masks. And that's okay. Those were all fun parts of the photo booth. And, that's the traditional photo booth. So we really upped our game and invested in high quality props.
Right.
Yeah.
So our high quality props are not for children sometimes because they'll say, RBF, which means
Yeah.
or they'll say
or we could say
slay.
resting
beautiful
fish face. No, I have a friend that says that her daughter can't.
Beautiful face.
Resting
yeah.
beautiful face.
No.
All
They
women
didn't
are
mean that.
beautiful.
Anyways,
No matter what their face looks
no,
like.
no. Let me say one. I have a friend, and her daughter can't say the B word, so she says she calls everybody fishes.
Mm.
That
So
fish, this
the
fish.
fish. Yeah.
Resting fish face. Yes.
So from your confidence.
Hey, listen, that's the fun that we bring.
Yes,
So
yes,
when you go into getting a prop and it says, who are these people, or shots,
Yeah.
or it has slay, or
Right.
now demure, those kind of
Right,
things.
The
Like,
demure
we're
word. Oh
investing
my
in that.
god.
Yeah. So
you're
we're
staying current with what people are
Yes.
looking
And that's
for.
that's
very
that's
cool.
good for an entrepreneur.
Very
That's smart for an entrepreneur to do, especially in your industry.
yes.
Because the social media keeps moving and trends keep
Right.
happening, and it's like I think everyone as an entrepreneur needs to keep it up.
Yeah.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're utilizing QR codes. We're utilizing high render videos. We have, videos that go on TikTok now. So they're long enough to go on TikTok, just that 15, 20 seconds, so that you can just post it directly on TikTok.
Oh wow.
We have a lot of that great creativity happening right now.
Nice.
But more importantly, again, it goes back to I'm a photographer by heart and a tech person by trade, because I had to learn a lot of the technology.
Right.
I had to become very familiar with, what happens with the printers not working, what happens if the camera printer and the flash aren't talking to each other, where's the mishap. And I think a lot of individuals that go into the photo booth industry feel like this is easy money, right? This is easy money. I'm going to work every quinceañera, every weekend. I'm going to do weddings and I'm going to offer it for $400 or $500. Yeah, you can do that, but you'll burn yourself out, right? So it takes also knowledge and pricing to be able to sustain. And I think that's why we've been around for 8 years.
Wow. 8 years.
And going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Energizer bunny over here. So where did the inspiration to the Women of Aurora start? Because you got the photo booth, right? Business. And then you got the Women of Aurora group, right? And then what else? Yeah.
Cup spreader.
Oh, and I remember that. I remember
Yeah,
when you were
Cup
starting
Spreader,
that.
right.
Okay, so let's go into the Women of Aurora. What started that? How did that go?
Yeah. So, well, actually, first was Cups Bra Drive.
Okay.
So, Cups Bra Drive is a commitment to uplift with purpose and service. And Cups Bra Drive helped me really reach out to a variety of women groups and networks throughout the Tri-Cities, Aurora, Naperville, and far west in like Yorkville, Plano area, in Joliet. And so it really started to grow, and it was a movement that was really well adapted. It's in honor of my mom. My late mom passed away from breast cancer. And so her lesson to me was, not a lot of women, or women just really seldomly have access to bras. So when they're escaping battered, a
Domestic
bad
violence.
situation, domestic violence, or they become homeless, the last thing that's donated is a bra. And so it was a need. And so before she passed, she would host garage sales. This was, my mom was very tenacious, and she was like, I'm going to work, even though she was battling breast cancer. And so her way of working was to have these garage sales, and that's how she was making money. And really for her, it was for her to have her own money, right? And so then the community got involved, and it was just this big thing. But she taught me this because she wanted me to put my bras out in the garage sale. And I was like, no, Mom, like nobody should have access to my bras, first of all. And second of all, at that point I was in college, and I was thinking, no, like we're not going to put my stuff out. That's my business, right?
Yes.
And you think about it as a very personal, intimate garment.
It is.
And so I started networking with all these women and got this great organization going, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And then COVID just put a halt to everything. And even for Cubs Bra Drive, we had a very small drive that year and had everybody bag their bras. And it was phenomenal because women still wanted to support. And at this
Right.
point, most of us were home and emptying out our drawers and, closets and
Trying to
purging.
find something to do to not lose your mind,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. And so then, a lot of the women were like, hey, we need something. We need something, right? And I'm a big proponent of networking and building networks to grow your business and really putting good people around you. So throughout 2020, I was trying to figure out what to do myself. And at the end of 2020, close to December, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to pull the trigger. I'm going to build a network online that has community contributors. So these contributors were going to be able to share knowledge and share inspiration and share their knows to the rest of the community while we are all locked in, right? Because nobody's going anywhere.
Right.
So we're all shut down, and women really start, gravitating to it.
Oh, so because of the drive, that's how you started Women of Aurora?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. It was a springboard for it, for sure.
Cool.
Because a lot of my colleagues and network and individuals that were supporting CamMi Photo Booth were not always in this area. But also, Women of Aurora is Aurora based because Aurora needed a safe space that was outside of, the chambers. And the chamber isn't horrible. I think the chamber is a phenomenal networking tool, and I think everybody should be a part of the chamber. But there needs to be a safe space just for women in Aurora to connect and almost feel like you're lunching with your best friends, right?
Right.
But it's not a sales pitch. So that's the most important part about Women of Aurora, is that you're not coming to sell me something and I'm not trying to sell you something, right? We're not trying to do business together because I'm trying to, figure out what you can offer me and what I can offer you. It's more of a space where we can come together and really feel safe to talk about, what's happening in the community.
Yeah.
How did you get to where you are now? What inspired you? And then if it inspired you, how can I do something similar? Don't steal it. So I just had an incident.
Are you telling me personally don't steal it? Because I've been doing this for years, girl. Stop it.
No, I actually just had somebody literally take the fabric of what I built and try to do it on their own. So I feel like, right, I'm all for, I'm all for you doing what you want to do and maybe something right in the same realm, I will support. But if you take verbatim my words and my inspiration,
like they literally.
Yeah.
But something like that never is gonna last, right? Like this never authentic.
Well,
it's never gonna like I'm a true believer. Like, look, you want copying me, do it. But at the end of the day, it's not gonna last.
Right.
Because the passion is not behind it.
The passion is not behind it.
You know, and no one can steal like you personally. You are Cynthia, right? Like you
it's
come.
Your essence.
Yes, your essence, your recipe, your personality. People gravitate towards you because they like you, right? Like I know people follow me because they like me. Like they don't know what the hell come out of my mouth sometimes, and they're like, "You sound like a." You don't know. I'm just joking, but you know what I mean.
But
like people believe what I say. I could say like the sky is purple, and people are like, "Yeah, the sky is purple," because they just love me so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. I don't want you to like that person. It won't last.
Yeah. So I'm not offended. I mean, I've had other groups, kind of copy some of the things that I've done, and it's totally fine. They could do, they could do their own group. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It does.
Yes.
And no one realizes that. No one realizes that.
Yes.
A lot of work. And so the offensive part is not the copying. I think the offensive part is the stealing part.
Oh,
right?
they trying to like poach people? Is that what's happening?
No, I don't know.
The intellectual property, like you said, the word you saying, she was saying.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. Like I'm flattered, thank you, but if I invite you to eat at my table, then come eat at my table and enjoy it, right? And support, but don't
take
advantage of it. Yeah. So at the end of the day,
don't take the serving plates.
Right.
Don't take the buffet.
Take food in a little napkin, put it in the purse.
Yeah. That's not it.
That's tacky.
Yeah, we get you.
But you know what? At the end of the day, like So I started this as an online platform.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. On
Not-
Facebook, right?
Yes,
Facebook group. Yeah.
Yes. So not even to like meet in person.
Yeah.
But like the group evolves and the
Yes,
women
yes.
ask for more and want more because
Let's
they
do in
want
person.
that connectivity.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Let's do that.
So they want
Yeah.
to be meeting in person. So then, okay, so naturally we did an evening meeting at
Yeah.
first, and it was going okay. And then finally, we were able
Yeah.
to get a home base in Aurora. So it
Beautiful.
took a while.
Right here.
Right here
Right
at
here
Society
where
we're
57.
sitting
So
at.
like full circle, right?
Yeah.
Full circle.
So what are some kind of programs that you guys put together that with speakers and things like do you do speakers and things like that? Or?
So we do speaker series.
Yeah.
So in the interim of growing the community and having the community really come together, my goal is to not only have speakers continue to come. We have some phenomenal speakers. Next month on March 13th, we're going to have a speaker that's also on broadcasting on Comcast. So she has a show on Comcast.
Wow.
Oh, very nice.
Her background is in project management, and she's going to come talk to us about how to tenfold our sales.
Oh, that's very nice.
So at the end of the day, we have really phenomenal speakers. We have women that are local. And I think the more important part is to have these connections, right? So like you and I connected.
I don't remember.
I know. Long
you said,
ago.
but
You were a student.
wait,
so.
I was still doing the media school, but I remember, where did we connect that made me bring you to that?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I don't
that was
remember.
with Jackie Camacho with the Today's Inspired Latina.
Oh, yeah. Because I was in her book.
Yes.
That's when. I was a contributing
she was,
author. Oh, now I remember. Because I know you did the photo booth thing at the event.
Yes.
So that's what that
Right.
was. So.
And
I
did the 360 at her event.
You did the 360 at her event. I
over in
remember.
Oak Brook.
Yeah. So that's how the connection happened. Now it makes sense because that God dang, that was how long ago?
Yeah, we would have been book sisters many years ago.
You're in the book too?
No, I'm in the LatinX Community Leaders book.
You're in the community leaders book, but still Jackie published
But Jackie published it.
The Fig
Absolutely.
Factor,
Fig Factor Media. Yep.
Okay.
Shout out.
To Fig Factor. So so I was in the Today's Inspired Latina series, and then that you were on the other. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because she wrapped it up. I want to say
like 2-3 years ago, right?
More.
Has it been that
She
long?
had
She's
a-
in Mexico now, living the good life.
Yeah,
so.
she's
She's like, I'm done, guys.
Not even coming back.
I love Jackie.
She said, "Bye, Aurora."
Yeah, she's like, see ya. Yeah.
No, this more. I think I want to say maybe 3-4 years ago.
Damn, I haven't. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because we saw each other in Oak Brook.
Yes. So do you know about Today's Inspired Latina series? I know
No.
we're talking about it, and we're not even like for anyone that that's
That's a part of
watching.
it, yeah.
So Today's Inspired Latina is a book series that started in, when was the first one? Maybe like 2017, 2016,
Earlier.
2015, maybe.
Earlier.
Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, so
I don't
would say
remember.
I was interning with Chapa La Villa at that time, so it might have been like 2008. Oh,
Yeah.
so I was interning with State Representative Chapa La Villa at that time. So I
okay.
want to say it was probably closer to like 2012, 2010.
Okay, the first one
Yeah.
that came out, because by the time I got involved, I was in volume 4. That's when I got and she was releasing a book every year.
She was, yeah.
So if that was, you said 14?
No, I want to say earlier than that.
Okay, because then I got involved maybe like 2017, maybe. So 16, 15, 14, 13. So maybe like 2013, it was the
Yeah.
first one. Because secretly I was like, I want to be in that book. Like when I first saw it, because I knew a lot of the ladies in the book, and I was like, I want to be in that book.
Yeah.
And just like, and then finally I manifested it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The opportunity, someone offered it to me. I was like, yes, I want to be in this book, right?
I don't know. Let me check my schedule. Yes.
That's a yes.
Yes.
4 years later, like, but it's a book series, and they were on they ended it with 10 books.
Yeah, that's close now. I think
Yeah.
she's now doing
books.
Latinas in different areas, like
Yeah.
different categories. She does aviation, construction, HR. Yeah, so they're
social
doing a
work.
different
And then
series.
in the series you were in was the leadership one.
Mine is the leadership one. Yeah.
Was
LatinX
it black?
Community
Was it like a
Leaders.
black book? I remember that book. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shout out to Jackie.
yeah,
Shout out Jackie.
honestly, that was really what gave me that courage to kind of put myself out there, was putting my stamp in that book, kind of like, okay, my story's here now.
Right.
Make it official, and then from there it just kind of kept rolling.
Right.
It's very lethargic to just dump your, like, whatever is happening in your life or whatever you want to share and just put it into paper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's so freeing. Not only does it feel like you've dropped weight, but also it allows you to acknowledge
Right.
whatever your story that you shared, right?
Yes. Yes. It's kind of like, this is official. This is what I went through, and I'm putting
Right.
it out there, and who cares what people think about it, kind
Yeah.
of thing. You
Yeah,
know,
because you become vulnerable.
you become vulnerable in the book.
Absolutely.
So that one, and then I was in that other book, Hispanic Star Rising, which is still her,
Still hers,
another.
yeah.
So that book, I was in that one too. So now it's like, I recommend anyone to write,
Right.
put
Mhm.
a story in a book or write something, because that just adds credibility to
Yeah.
what you do. It
Yeah.
really does, and people see you more as someone credible with what you're saying. So that's what the anyone's watching. That's what today's Inspired Latina is, and she would do like Latinx, not Latinx.
She did Latinx leaders.
Latin, but she did like TEDx talks.
Oh, she did TEDx
Remember, it was called like
talks.
Latina Talks or
Yes,
something
Latina
like that.
Talks.
Like
Yes.
So she,
Young Latinas too.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she
Mm.
did that as well.
She also has, I think, a group for young Latinas that she mentors, right? I
Yeah.
think it's an academy or some sort. I can't remember.
Oh, the Fig Factor Foundation.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So I used to be one of her subcontractors for marketing at one point. So
one
I remember managing some of the marketing for that stuff. So I mean, she's an amazing person.
She is.
She's in Mexico now, so you can't meet
Yeah.
her. I mean, I'm sure you can meet her, but like when she comes,
When she
but
comes back.
She really is.
she visits.
And she's
still
really
comes.
passionate about her art,
Yeah.
right? She's really passionate about her art, and I think she's also one to inspire a lot of women.
That's what
I
she's
know
all
that
about.
I know that her and I have had, earlier what I was expressing to you about a little bit of a grievance, right?
Yeah.
But I know that she's also had that too. And so I think we share that in common. I think that we want to empower, and you know this. You
Yeah.
know this. We want to empower women.
just
We
wanna
want to
empower.
raise women. We want to lift them up, give them a
Sebastian
platform.
too. He wants to do
But
that.
I do. I love to empower any and everybody.
Thank you.
He is
a
any and
co-ed
everybody.
empower.
He is. He
Yes,
is.
yes,
He
co-ed
is.
empower. Yes, yes.
You still need male counterparts to help support initiatives like that, and then he
Yeah.
does it with the Naperville Alliance and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
other stuff he does. So he
Yeah.
gets it, you know.
Yeah, you understand. I mean, you
Yes,
understand, right?
yes.
So at
Empowerment,
the end of the
yes.
day, I really appreciate her for what she's doing and where she's at, and also how far she's come. I mean, I've
Yeah.
known Jackie for many years. I think
Yeah.
right when she was starting her business,
Mhm.
we just never really connected. So that's what I'm saying. Like you see the growth
Yep.
and how far people have gotten, and it's just so rewarding
Mhm.
to know and be like, hey, I saw her before that. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I knew when she started. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
when she started. I think it's really nice to be an entrepreneur and really be deep in entrepreneurship, because you
Mhm.
get to see people's journeys. You get to see how people evolve. You get to see where people are, like you, right? Like we've known each other for such a
Right.
long time,
Right.
and seeing where you've evolved. I'm sure you're seeing how I've evolved, right?
I know I have a podcast. You have a podcast.
Yeah, right.
Sebastian's on the podcast.
Hello.
Right.
Just here to look pretty.
He's just here.
He's just here. But at the end of the day, I think that's what's really nice about entrepreneurship and networking. You're fine. I'll pick. It's cool.
It's a business call.
They might not even
It's a
let's hear
business
it.
call. My bad.
If you guys are wondering, that's a call. But but at the end of the day, I think that's what's really cool is like you see people's journeys, and being full-time entrepreneur allows you to see that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're a full-time entrepreneur.
I'm full-time
You're a full-time
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. I'm
Yeah.
a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah. Last year I was not. Last year I took on a full-time job,
Mm.
and I have to be honest with you, like it was very challenging. Like, of course, I was still running my business.
Right.
I was still running Women of Aurora, trying to run Cup Sprout Drive, organizing all things that happen in Las Vegas, even though it's a one-time
Yeah.
year, one-night event. It's
Putting
very taxing.
And that was a huge event from the
Yeah, it was
looks of it.
huge.
So
yeah.
I mean, putting huge events together takes a lot of work.
Mhm.
Putting
Remotely.
small events together takes a
Mhm.
lot of work.
Yes.
Can you imagine big
You were in
ones?
Vegas.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
remotely
A
planning
lot of
everything.
expectations. I mean, and people have expectations, right, of what you bring to the table and what you gather.
Right,
So,
right.
like, there's obviously learns from that. And we went from having 20 people at a cafe in Las Vegas to having almost 200 people at the casino this year.
Jeez.
Wow.
And of course, that's part of a larger event that happens in Las Vegas,
Mhm.
but nonetheless, it's in need. And so for me, it's always about filling that need or that
Right,
void.
right.
And there are currently no classes provided for DJs and photo boothers and MCs in Spanish.
Oh,
at
that's
this
cool. There's a
expo.
market. There's a
And-
market
yeah.
there.
Yes, and you know how loyal we
Yeah.
are, and we're consumers, and so seeing that there was no niche for that or no opportunity for the group, I stepped up and I'm like, you know what, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And
I will do it.
And that's how you see true leadership when people
Right,
are like, they
right.
see a need, someone's not filling it. Let me fill this
Let me step up,
void. Let me
yeah.
step up, which is cool. That's actually pretty cool. I have a comment here. It's not popping up there, but I want to share it. It's from Latina Boss Babe. Diana, which she was on the show like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. We're going to be doing something together. She said they can try to imitate, but will never
Yes.
replicate because they
Never.
don't have the most important part, which is you. And she
Which
put-
is Cynthia.
Yeah. Which is
Yes.
which women from
Yes.
Yeah.
Women of Aurora. I mean, I have not attended an event now, but now I'm excited. Like I want to attend the event, just check it out because even us that put networking events together, like I hate going to networking events. That's always like someone trying to sell me something.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and that's not what I want. Like, absolutely, I'm all for networking.
Mhm.
I believe in networking. I believe in the power of networking and building
Sure.
and growing your network. But there's also has to be camaraderie and support and
Mhm.
Sure.
authentic support, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when you come to Women of Aurora, you can expect that the women that are coming are authentically coming to support one another.
Right.
Yeah.
There is no cattiness, there's no drama. Like I will cut it quick because there's absolutely no space for that, especially in the climate that we're in now, right? We're getting ready to see inflation rise. We're
Mhm.
getting ready to see interest rates.
Right.
You can speak to this
Mhm.
and the change in the way that our government is going so quickly. There's a lot of
Yeah.
changes that are coming our way. So as small business owners,
Yeah.
we need people around
Yep.
us that we can vent to.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
need people that we can love and trust, that love and trust us back.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's what Women of Aurora is. It's a genuine community of women that are not only here for one another, but also here to find their tribe.
Yeah. What I like also something that since you're bringing this point up is like supporting those that are in your circles financially, right? Like if you're constantly networking with a group of people and you know that they have this service, why not
Utilize them. Yep.
utilize them, purchase from them? That's one of the biggest things that I've always been like, okay, I know I got some insurance person here. Let me figure out who does insurance in this group so
Right,
that I
right.
can, at least throw them some business, right? And sometimes, mind you, I know it's not easy, right? Because you're trying to, depending on what you're trying to utilize, but I try to always support or give exposure, right? Like that's always been my thing. Like, let me just give exposure to people. At least this way I can leverage the platform I have and provide support for my business friends,
Right.
So kudos to you because what you're doing is powerful.
Thank you, and kudos to you too. I mean, you understand the power of uplifting each other and making sure that at the end of the day we're all eating,
Mhm.
right? We all got to
Right,
eat.
right.
So,
Yeah, we
what's
all
the
gotta
best
eat.
way to do a good deed is to promote your friend,
Right.
Yeah.
like, comment, share, and boost their
Mhm.
algorithm. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Do you, with the Naperville Alliance Network, I'm assuming you guys do that every week, right? Don't you
Yep.
guys like,
Every Wednesday morning.
yeah, they
Yeah.
do something where like you purposely have, you could share it. I'm sure like something on Wednesday mornings you guys do.
Yeah. So we host a meeting every Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Every week, which is pretty tough for people, but we're pretty motivated. Our network is pretty motivated to show up and support. So supporting the people in our organization and making sure that we're there for each other is the basis of what we do. We meet every week, 8 to 9:30, and everyone gets a chance to stand up and talk about their business, talk about some kind of story that they've had over the last week. And we also open it to visitors too, because we do have a membership-based model, so that everyone gets an opportunity to share and just support each other. So the support, and we were founded off the support and just having that accountability. So it's very important.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool. So as far as you have what events are coming up right now that you're trying to promote? Do you have anything coming up?
Yes. So we have March 13th, which is a Thursday. Every second Thursday of the month. We're meeting here at Society 57 from 11 to 1.
Oh, very nice.
Come enjoy some amazing coffee, some great pastries,
Yes.
their breakfast sandwich, their
careful.
avocado toast. I'm telling you, I've gotten I've gotten women that
Be
have said, why don't you
You
host
said
it
be
somewhere
careful.
else? But if you know the food, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You know the food here is phenomenal. So come have a light lunch with us, have a great cup of coffee, and here's some really powerful speakers.
Mm.
I mean, we've had women talk about finance, we've had women talk about growing their business, marketing, but in a way that's authentic and real, right? Not like, here's some pointers and go home and
Right.
do A, B, C, D. No, it's like, I'm growing a business. This is how I did it. This is what I have experienced. And this is what I can share with you, right? The know-hows and what I would do differently if I were restarting my business. The other part of that is that we have women of confidence. We have women talking about how they're confident, how they've overcome. We've had State Representative Barbara Hernandez come to meet with us, and we had a
Wow.
very intimate lunch with her, and she talked about her struggles and her health, and it really got, not only for the women that showed up that day, but it really got real, right? Like, this is a
Mhm.
real human
Mhm.
being. Like, not only does she have you know, I guess at that point they thought it was a brain tumor, but like, she had serious health conditions
Yeah.
happen to her, and she, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but she really went through quite the struggle of like relearning a few things, like speaking and talking
Oh,
and walking.
wow.
So for her, there was a lot of therapy involved, and I don't want to share her entire story because she's
Mhm.
phenomenal. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like, she's young. She's very active. And not only that, she's Latina.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of representation now in the state government level for the state of Illinois, but she's one of them and she's local. So
Mhm.
we had her here,
Wow.
and I can tell you her story was inspiring. It was moving, and it really changed a lot of the
Mhm.
women's perspective.
Yeah, I think being authentic is probably your greatest strength, right?
Mhm.
In business in general. And that's just my opinion. Like, I think you can connect with people more, people resonate with you more, right? And I think it takes too much work to be fake.
Yes. Well, to
Mhm.
try to be somebody that
That
Yeah.
you're
you're
not.
And
not.
keep
Like,
up with it. Yeah.
yeah. Like, I'm all for, like, joining and collaborating and supporting
Yep,
one
yep.
another. And I think that that's very important.
Yeah.
I think competition is, at the lower level. I think collaboration is really great
Yeah.
when you are open and honest about what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I think that if you're hiding, or if you're not sharing, or if you're
Yeah.
concealing things that are not
Yeah.
right, like, it's gonna get known. Like, people are gonna see right through it. Whether you go to any networking event, you go to a chamber event,
That's true.
if you're not your real self, they're gonna know.
People are gonna
Yeah.
tell. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I really like about working with entrepreneurs, like just the authenticness.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the realness, the raw stories, like, I want to learn from someone's mistakes so that I cannot make them
right. Or avoid, or yeah.
avoid, or right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can
Everybody
only
has to
fake it till you make it so far.
Right. Yeah.
But when people can kind of tell when you are, faking it till you make it, but they
Right.
can tell when you're genuine just about who you are versus like I'm like this stature and I've been in it for this long. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Your face. You're like, who are you thinking about?
Oh, no.
Because I feel like you're thinking about something or someone, right? Look at your face. Look at your face.
Oh my God, I hate sometimes I don't have poker faces. Jesus, that's part of the authenticness, I guess, right?
well, I'll be transparent. When I started my business and everything, I faked it. I'm like, I went into the rooms, felt like, oh yeah, I'm this experienced. I have this kind of confidence when I know I'm like, all right, I've only been in it for this long. But, it was the genuineness that came off. And then I built myself up through that. Yeah. But I never came off as anyone that I wasn't. I was always genuine with it.
So I don't think that's
Yeah.
fakeness. I think that's confidence.
Yeah,
Is it?
confidence.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay.
I would call that confidence, only because, when you walk into a room, you have to feel like
That's
you're
true.
called there. Like,
That's
God
true.
put you there for a reason,
Yeah.
right? I don't know what, if you're religious or not, or like, invoke, this sense. But at the end of the day, like, if you're meant to be somewhere, like,
Right,
own
right.
it,
That's a
right?
good point. That's
Which
a good point.
faking it is really
confidence,
a lot
right?
different. Yeah, a lot different.
I think
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is a good conversation.
Confidence till you make it. Not
No.
fake it till you make it. It's
Well,
confidence till
No,
you make it.
maintain. Like there's got to be a level of maintenance, right?
Interesting.
So
Yeah,
maintain
yeah.
that level of confidence because anything can rock that confidence.
Right.
I've
Absolutely.
sat at the Oswego Junior Women's Club, which I absolutely adore all the women there, but being the only Latina
yeah.
or the only, we'll call it open Latina, right? Because there'll be Latinas that have, different last names and so forth. And I say it that way because they'll look at me and be like, oh, you're the minority in this group.
Okay. My head itches.
I know.
My head hurts.
Hold on. You said something that just baffled me right now. You said open Latina.
Openly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I will own my true self.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be, I've had people say to me, like, I took a vacation last July and I went down to Panama City Beach, Florida. And I was telling my colleagues that I was going down to Panama City Beach. And they're like, well, just tell them you're from the Midwest. And I'm like, no. I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
like
From
wait,
Mexico.
right
live,
from Mexico.
Live in Plano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Like,
this is where the authenticness is like kicking in. It's like
Yeah.
you don't openly say you're Hispanic, like you don't,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
Like do you hide it?
Yeah.
well, some individuals, and I can only tell you this because I've seen it and I've witnessed
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
is that there's a certain shyness to really owning who they are and culturally
Mhm.
to fit in.
Jesus.
And that's okay. I mean, it's what works for them, right?
Mhm.
Whatever works for them.
But
That
I
cannot
will
work for
mix
me.
English, right? I will mix English, Spanish. I will come in and I will ask stupid questions because I really may or may not know. And at the end of the day, I am who I am, but I will never hide it.
Yeah.
And
for
so,
sure.
Absolutely.
And it's so unfortunate because like I've sat at board of director opportunities and sat on a board and been one of just a few new minorities.
Sure.
And I've been made to feel
Like
less than.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For asking questions.
Mhm.
But at the
Yes.
end of the day, I was not the only one that had that question in the
For
room.
sure,
You know what
for
I
sure,
mean?
for sure,
for
sure.
So I
For
just
sure.
have the confidence
Right,
to
right.
ask and to own
Right.
my Latina self that so much that I went to Las Vegas and told the guy that's been putting the event together for 10 years, hey,
Yeah,
you're missing
yeah.
this aspect. And so it's taken a while now to grow the community. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's there
Mhm.
and people are asking for it and they
Right,
want more
right.
of it because there is this niche.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess it just I'm
Yeah,
still
still taking
struggling.
back-
I'm still struggling
Still
here
taking back, trying
because
to process.
I think for me, and I had this presentation. I think I did it not so long ago where it was like, I've been in the nonprofit world. I've been in marketing. I've been in corporate America, and I know that there's a certain way you need to behave, right? And there
Mhm.
are ways that you have to carry yourself because like maybe around executives you can't talk a certain way or act a certain
Yeah,
way, like you have to
yeah.
tone it down a little bit, right? Like tone down the ghetto-ness
flavor,
or the
the flavor.
hoodiness or
The flavor.
The flavor.
like you
El
can't
sabor.
the sabor, right? Like tone it down, right? Like you can't act the way that that culturally you can act with
Right.
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
community, right? And
Right.
I guess I've been purposefully around more minorities the last couple
Mhm.
of years where I put myself in spaces that are more around people I'm comfortable with and that I want to inspire and encourage, right? Because before, when I was a job, I was around other cultures and
Yeah.
communities and I had to act a different way, right? So it's like understanding when to turn it on and turn it off, or turn it up or turn it down, right?
Yeah, we're really in duplicity.
Yeah.
We're living
Yeah.
a dual life.
Yeah, and I guess like one thing that I've said this publicly, like I always try to wear hoops, so at least I feel Latina that way. Like even like I'll always try to
Yeah,
wear
I see what
hoops
you're
because
saying,
that
yeah.
keeps me connected to my roots,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
But just recently, right, like it was just like turn down the hood for a little bit, right? So I was like, fine, like Jesus, I have to turn it down,
Shoot, let me put this down.
Yeah,
but it's because like you have to know where you're at. But when someone
Yeah,
says I
yeah.
have to be openly Latina, like openly gay or something, it just sounds weird,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you really are suppressing, you're really putting that part of yourself. And maybe, right, and I say it in such a bold manner because I don't, right? I don't hide it, and I don't sugarcoat it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's a difference between their perception and what they've grown up to feel like and have been in different
Mhm.
environments
Yeah.
versus me. I'm an immigrant. I was undocumented. I was a
Mhm.
dreamer. I was
Yeah.
marching in Capitol Hill. I was testifying in the state of Illinois for in-state tuition. I have the pen that the governor signed in-state tuition
Wow.
with.
Oh,
So at the end of
wow.
the day, for me, I've lived a life of where courage
Yeah.
needed to happen, right? Like where I needed to be courageous, where I needed to be brave, where I needed to testify. Like there are things in my background just similar to you. I've done community organizing, I've worked in corporate America. I have learned also that my communication and the level of my vocabulary will dictate the individuals that approach me
Yep.
or who talks to me, right? In the sense of like when I'm at a networking event, there's absolutely, I can tell you when I first I was just telling my children because, my kids are learning to read and write. So I
Yeah.
was telling them that when I was in fourth grade, I could barely speak English
Mhm.
and I couldn't read out loud, but the
Mhm.
teacher made me read out loud. And I remember one of the boys in my classroom laughing about
Yeah.
my reading and my reading level.
Yeah.
And I said, never again. Never again. And so I
Mm.
literally put my head to the paper
Wow.
and taught myself how to read expeditiously as well as my vocabulary elevated.
Yeah.
Because for me, it was more of a challenge. It was like, oh, do you think you can laugh about me now? Watch me later. So it was
Ah.
more of a
Well,
challenge.
that kid is probably stuttering.
Well,
that
who
kid
knows where he
can't-
is,
yeah,
but good
yeah,
luck
yeah.
to him. We
Well,
love him.
At that point,
Best
he was
of
probably
life.
still stuttering, still couldn't read straight.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
were in fourth grade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're kids at that point. They don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it set a fire
It's
in my belly.
Yes,
it
that's good.
definitely sounds like the spicy Latina. I was like, oh
I
yeah,
don't
like
hide
you're in
it.
fourth grade. You were like, yeah, you were in fourth grade, but I'm gonna show
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I'm gonna show you.
I was,
Yeah.
I was telling everybody, my mom built me like a fortress. So she was like, mija, no te preocupes.
Yeah.
Que se te resbale and then get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, get on the next
Yeah.
thing. That's interesting. I love the conversation, and if anyone has any questions, comments, make sure that you write it in the chat here. I know it's not coming up here, but I see it coming up on the Facebook on my phone. I don't know. I mean, it's I just I get it now. It makes sense.
Yeah,
It makes sense, and I guess you just have to see what makes sense for you when you're out there
Right.
networking, right? When you're meeting people and act accordingly, right? Like
Right.
act accordingly. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a representation of who you are as a person.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we see, and I tell you that I was marching on Capitol Hill and I actually organized the march here in Aurora.
Oh,
and
wow.
then went to school in DeKalb and organized the largest
Wow.
march in DeKalb
Oh,
with
wow.
students across campus.
That's pretty
And this
cool.
was all for Dream Act and,
Yep.
and getting, getting the ability to be able to go to college. But like,
Wow.
that old saying, como te ven, te tratan? Like
The
how
way they see you, they treat you.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real
That
thing.
is true.
So
Yep.
for anybody that's out, marching now and really, being a part of the movement,
Mhm.
I appreciate and value their insight and their input and their time to be, involved in it, but it's also how you do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's where the confidence comes into play, right?
Mhm.
Like we were talking about earlier, like the fake it till you make it, or the fake it till you make
Yeah.
it, or be it and then you become it. I think it's more about the confidence, right? Like you're not going to say something that you're totally not involved in, right?
Right.
But like if you walk in confidently of just like, this is who I am,
Yep.
and this is take it or leave it.
Right.
Yeah, this is what I have to offer. And I think when people feel like they have value to provide, regardless of how much they've done or haven't done,
Right.
that's when the respect is commanded.
Right.
And like I can say that like as a real estate investor, right? At one point I wasn't, but how do you become it?
Right.
Right? Like there's this in a lot of the investors that watch the replay or watching it now, or anybody really, before you became a coach,
Right.
you never had a client. Like everyone
Right.
was at one point, or when you made a sale for a property, right?
Mhm.
Like at the end of the day, you never did it at one point. You never had that experience. So
Right.
how did you cross that threshold to be like, oh, now I am this,
Mhm.
right? I was saying I was a real estate investor before I became a real estate investor.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, but I like me, right? I went for a full week of training to Las Vegas and master classes and immersing myself in the product and the services. So I imagine that you probably also invested in your education.
Oh,
Mhm.
I
So-
sure
Yes.
damn well
Mhm.
did.
Sure did.
I
So
sure
that,
Sure
did.
did.
that
Sure did.
there is the
Yes.
point. I think the point is that you invest not only in yourself, but you
Yourself.
invest in your education and you continue growing and
Of
developing.
course, of course, of course. I mean, yeah,
that gives you the
that
confidence.
that gives that starts it off, right?
Mhm.
But it's really hard as an investor to say you're an investor without a property to back it up,
Yeah.
right? So then I had to be creative. Well, like, how do I position this to make it
You're
sound
manifesting.
right? Right.
Yes.
So it's like, and I'm a big person, like being authentic. We were talking about this like not too long ago, the quantum leaps and
Yes.
just believing and just
Yesterday,
then,
actually,
yeah, jumping into the next phase in your life of
What
like,
decision are we making to get to that next
yeah,
level?
yeah, like
What do
there's
we become?
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're always one decision away from getting closer to where you're supposed to go,
Mhm.
right?
That part, making decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making the
Yeah,
decision.
because whatever decisions you're making now for yourself,
Yeah.
they may not manifest or appear in a week, month, or a year. They might come down the pipeline
Yep.
5 years from
Yep.
now,
For
right?
sure.
Yep.
Like we're getting awards now for CamMi Photo Booth, and CamMi Photo Booth is
Wow.
getting recognized nationally.
Yeah.
And so we're not at a level where we were, when we first started.
For sure.
But we're 8 years in, and we're just
Right.
seeing a lot of the fruit of our
Right.
labor. So making
Oh,
those
wow.
decisions to invest and to, keep at it, just
Yeah.
keep going. Your consistency is what will get you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's that book that says The Power of One More.
So, okay.
I guess I've heard of that.
It sounds familiar.
It's
yeah.
just like do one more rep or do one more call
Right,
or
right,
do
right.
one more, like if I'm tired of like the show, just do one more show.
One more show.
One
You know,
more.
oh, I do that all the time with my retreats. You know how I've been doing women retreats, right?
Yes.
It's like what this is our 9th one that's gonna come up in September.
Wow.
Every year I hate it. Every year when I finish, I'm like, I'm done. I'm never doing a retreat again. You know,
9 in. Here goes the 10.
Right.
well, think about it. Think about it because we put events together. Can you imagine 3 days straight? 3 days straight of nonstop event. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't stop.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, the pre-work, the current, and the
And
post.
after, yep.
Yeah.
And then I don't know about you guys, but when I put an event together, like I go out. Like I go out, whether it's a couple hours,
Yeah,
days, month. I kid you not, one retreat I put together 18 women. I think in that retreat we had baptisms and all that stuff. And I just
Wow.
remember like I was out for a whole month. I was out for a whole
it's
month.
exhausting.
I was just like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't breathe.
Yeah.
You know, like
I know.
Yeah.
I told you I'm zombie mode after Vegas. But I'm here.
But
Yeah.
you're here. And
Awesome.
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, awesome. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, where do they go? Where should we direct them to?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, check out our website first and foremost. We have a phenomenal website, CamMiPhotobooth.com. We're on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Not the other ones. We're on LinkedIn as well under CamMi Photo Booth
Okay.
LLC. And then, of course, you can always reach out to me at info@CamMiPhotobooth.com.
Oh, nice. So we
Yeah.
have that
Very
there.
nice. Very nice.
CamMiPhotobooth.com. And then we have, if you guys want to reach out to her, I also put her phone number here, 630-636-1335. And then info@CamMiPhotobooth.com. And I have Angel, my girl here. She said it was a blessing. It was a beautiful retreat. It was a Kairos. That's what she wrote.
Do you do
Someone
those
wrote
in
it.
Chicago? Do you do those in the area? Where do you do them?
First 2 years I did them in Wisconsin, and then the last couple of years, then I did them in Michigan.
Well, I mean, they're
Michigan,
kinda close.
yeah,
Yeah,
Michigan,
yeah.
and then I've done some in Antioch, Illinois. So it's somewhere in the tri-state
Yeah.
area. You know, enough where I know my audience doesn't want to fly and doesn't want to book trips, I try to
Right.
keep it affordable where people can still drive to it,
Yeah,
but still
yeah.
get away.
Right.
Okay.
right.
Like the furthest I've gone is like a 4-hour. We
Like a
went
drive,
to
yeah.
Muskegon, in Michigan. So it was actually, what the heck was it called? Whitehall, Michigan. So it was like
Wow.
3-4 hour drive to Michigan. Beautiful scenery. So that's the furthest I've gone out. I even had one woman get hit by a deer. Like she was driving to the retreat and the deer hit her, and she told me that. I was like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
You know. But that's another story for another day. And then of course, Sebastian. Let me promote Sebastian. Sebastian, you said that there's an event. If someone wants to
Yep.
reach out to you, where they go?
feel free to hit me up on Facebook or follow. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook or follow Naperville Networking Alliance. We have an event this Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30 at Limitless Dreams and Events in Lisle.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Mhm.
And then you guys know we have the Wise Alliance Network. I'll be promoting a networking event coming up next March 6th. I'll be having a women's international event there, both men and women. It'll be in partnership with Latina Boss Babes.
Yep.
And then I am still recruiting for ladies. So I'm still looking for ladies who want to take my coaching program because I have a 12-week coaching program coming up. So if anyone's interested,
Yeah, that's
please reach out to me. Yes,
Yeah.
Sebastian took it.
Yeah.
So that's
It's amazing material. Learn how to be a true woman.
There you go. There
Just
you
learn how
go.
to be true
Thank
to
you.
my womanhood.
Thank you. Thank
know?
you, Sebastian.
Wait, before
for
we go.
Yeah, your
Uh,
feminine side. I mean, we, you know,
Right.
balance.
Balance.
Well, we do have both. We both have masculine and feminine
Energy.
energy.
Yes,
we do
yes,
have it.
yes,
We
yes,
do
yes.
have it. So
I'm just saying.
we do
And
have it.
we're having
Oh my
a
God!
networking
yes. I
event
apologize. Yes.
April 3rd in Chicago Lakeview at Chicago Theater Works. It's going to be from, what do we say, 6 to
6:30.
10.
Yeah, 6 to 10.
6 to 10. So the first 2 hours and a half is going to be open networking, and then we're going to have karaoke
Oh.
at the end to close it out. So Chicago Theater Works is
All
really
his
cool.
idea.
I just want to sing. I'm going to sing "My Heart Goes On" by
Whitney
Celine Dion.
Houston?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Celine Dion.
I just
like
seen that
what?
movie the other day
Oh,
for the first time.
Titanic.
What?
Yes, it was. That was
Oh
really
my
good.
God.
It was really good.
That Titanic's a classic.
I don't
I've
want to
never
date
seen it.
myself, but I think that came out when I was in high school. Right?
Girl,
Right?
I was in 6th grade when that came out.
Okay, then no.
So-
Maybe I was in 6th grade then because we're about
I'm just saying. I remember like everyone wanted to play the song on the piano.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Oh
like
my
a thing in
God.
grammar
Hey, like one of your
school.
French women.
Yeah.
Jack. Anyways, so we're gonna have that event April 3rd. More details to come soon. We're gonna have a flyer coming soon. So come out if you want to meet amazing professionals that are in our network and expanded, as well as just have some fun and blow off some steam with some karaoke. There's a bar
Yes.
there too, full
Yes.
service bar, cash bar. So
Yeah.
we have everything there ready to go.
Let me throw this out there. She was a dumbass for throwing that jewel in the water.
Seriously.
Like, why
Jennifer's
would you throw
Jennifer's
that?
like, let me not end the show
Yeah.
until I tell you.
Let me just say that. Like,
Rose.
why?
Can you cuss on your show?
You could cut. This is not. Yeah. No.
No editing.
No editing. This is raw
What up,
footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, why you let him die? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
He could have
could have
fit.
fit on there.
He
Stop
coulda fit.
playing. Anyways, that's just
He
my
coulda
opinion.
fit.
we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, it's a better story if he dies, and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways.
Bye, Jack.
Yeah.
I'll never let go, Jack. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'll never
You
let
know,
go.
suelta.
I'll
Bye,
never
Jack.
let go. I'll never let go.
But you know, I said,
Get off! You're rocking the door.
You're splashing me. Stop.
Oh, this took a left turn.
but you know what?
Okay.
That line is classic. Because if you ever like, I don't know, I used to play in the pool.
I like where he goes. I'm the king of the world.
Yes,
Front of the boat.
yes,
That's
yes.
like classic.
That's-
favorite.
Classic.
Let's take that. From
Yeah.
the
Yeah. So at least it gave us good
Not good
memes.
memes.
Yeah, good memes.
Good memes.
Good way, like I used to play in the pool and pretend like I was Jack and just drop myself down. Anyways, I'm done. So thank you so much, you guys, for watching.
Guys,
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you for guys
Thank you
being
so much
on
for
with
coming.
me, both of you guys. So and
So
yeah,
much fun.
yeah, this was fun.
Do it
This
again.
was fun. Yeah, we'll do it again.
have
We'll do
to.
it soon.
We have
For
to.
sure. Absolutely. All right, guys, and you guys have a great rest of your week. God bless.